Hey there, it's Mary with Potter's Perch. I'm pretty excited about this kiln load. I have looked in the top. I've got the lid open already. It's cooled down to like 94 degrees. I fired this. It's probably been shut off for about 30 hours, but I couldn't look at it this morning because it was too hot before work, so I've been thinking about it all day long. I got some pieces in here for people. Specifically, I've got a cute little project or a couple of pieces for a little gal taking some rabbits to the 4-H fair here in St. Joe County, and some other things. But let's start with my kiln pack top shelf. This is 5. As you can see, it is all the way gone. I would call it a nice, that's a cool 6, definitely headed for a solid 6. I'm really happy with that. The clay I am using is Rocky Mountain Ash clay, also the Rocky Mountain Speckled Buff. But this is really my first full kiln load that all the pieces are made from that clay, so I can really get a feel for how my glaze is fitting. I did some test tiles. I have a young couple that have been very good real estate clients of mine that are getting married, and she would like a set of dishes and in purple colors. So I did some tests. From what I can see right offhand, none of them are going to be the right color, but I got some neat stuff. So this is 4A. I did write my tests down. This is Eggshell by Opulence with Ashley's Best, which is a glaze eye mix over the top of it. And there's a lot of things happening. There's some blue, there's some green. I think that's a really interesting test tile. This one is Pitch Black. That is a Clayscapes glaze. And on top of it, I have bright purple. And I don't know that I'm going to use this for the plates. She really likes that bright purple. But I bet I'll be using that on some pieces. I really like the way that fits together. This one is Ashley's Best, which is a recipe I get out of John Britt's book. And you can see it all by itself down here on the bottom. And then over the top of that, I put pearl white. So Ashley's Best is a real matte, dark purple color. And when you put the pearl white over it, it gives you a pretty bright blue. This one is bright purple. That's one I mixed myself. And then with pearl white over the top of it. So a little bit different than with the Ashley's Best. Kind of flat, kind of, I don't know that I'm real thrilled with that. This one was interesting. Pearl white spectrum glaze with bright purple over the top. And I would like to try that on some more pieces. Yeah, I like the way that looks. This is Folk Art White with Ashley's Best over the top of it. And it just kind of lightens up the Ashley's Best. And then this one, 12A, is Pearl White on the bottom all over it, and then Ashley's Best on the top. So that looks an awful lot like it did the other direction. One has satin on the bottom. This one has pearl white on the bottom. So those are my test tiles. I can see some new glaze combinations in my future. Okay. Got a couple of mugs up here on the top. I love this combination. This is Starry Night from Clayscapes Pottery. And I went, you can see just a little bit of the gold flecks in it. I went a little light on the glaze. Just one dip, and I probably should have done 2. I'm very happy with it. I'm going to leave it as is, but the next time I'll make a note and remember to dip it twice. And then on top of it is eggshell from Opulence Glazes. Both really nice. I mean, those are just no pinholes, just really a nice application. So I believe there is a third one, but here is 1 and 2. So those are nice. I like those. This is one of my favorites. This green is a Chun green that I mix up, and it is a very easy application. I have enough that I could just dip it in there. It behaves like a Celedon, so it's, you know, you can put it over the top, but there's no crazing. I'm really happy with that, with this ash clay. Look at how white that is. No crazing. I don't hear any pinging in the kiln. And then over the top, or excuse me, under it, before I dip the Chun green, I put the Starry Night on it. So the Starry Night first, that's a Clayscapes glaze. It's a Temaku Gold is what it is, but I tried a Temaku Gold recipe. It didn't come out as nice as the Starry Night, and I spent the same amount of money, so I'm just going to buy the Starry Night because they are knocking it out of the park with that glaze. So I have 2 of those, and I like them. All right, this is one. There's 3 of these dishes. This is a friend. So some kids that grew up with my kids, their daughter is taking rabbits to the fair. And they asked if I could make a little food and water crock for them. And they gave me the dimensions. And green is this little gal's favorite color. So I did the Chun green and the Starry Night. And I got her name on there. And here's a little stamp I bought for her. I think those little rabbits are so cute. So very happy with that. I just got done talking about that glaze. I think she's going to be just delighted with that. All right. I have a really big piece in here. So I have a lot of half shelves. Now, I have seen all of that from the top. This next portion is a surprise to me, and I hope it's all good surprises. I have 2 of these. Ooh, I like it. I have 2 of these nice round serving bowls, as opposed to those square bowls. That ash clay again. And this is Mako's Sandstone, Amico's Sapphire Float. Inside is Opulence Eggshell. It has a lot of dimension to it. It is not a flat white. It's very durable. It's a nice liner glaze. And then around the rim, there is a little bit of eggshell. And then between the eggshell and the Sapphire Float is Mako Light Flux. And I really like that. So I have 2 of those. Here's the second one. A little sanding to do on the bottom, but I think that performed pretty well. Obviously got a little more flux on that one. Wow. Whew. I like that. I have a few soup bowls and oil decanters in this combination. So they'll look nice with that. Okay. Next shelf, or half shelf. Here's the other two. She only needed 3, or she only needed 2. I made 3 because you know how it is in the kiln. I think those all turned out really nice. The rabbits are going to have their own pottery. Ooh. Okay, so this didn't go real well for me. This is, I have some jars in the bottom of the kiln, and I don't know that, oh, and it cracked anyways. Okay, so I put just not enough room. I'm afraid I've destroyed quite a bit of things here. Pearl white obsidian. It matches the, well, it's not going to match anything because I think it's going to go in the trash. So I've got a stilt inside, and then I tried to lift this up with it. So I'm going to have to do something different because that is really glazed in there, and I think I'll just bust it apart and get my kiln shelf out of there because I can see a crack in the lid. So that's too bad. Not a happy surprise. Ooh, that one came out and I broke my lid. Okay. Don't do what I did. That is, there was not enough room in there for the stilt and the shelf support. I'm just going to skip over these. There's these two, and they're all big. Okay. All right. I'll have to make some more lids. Lots of cookies because I used some pearl white in here and I wasn't quite sure how it was gonna go. Here's the third. We already talked about that. Starry Night and eggshell. Just a nice combination. The middle here is our next, let me turn it this way, cone pack. So I would say that's a solid 6. And I'll tell you, so when I first started doing pottery, I was firing in a community kiln, and these were not being used. And I made some pieces, and we were using a clay that really wasn't appropriate for a cone 5, cone 6. It vitrified clear up at 10. So that was already going against us. And nobody was using cone packs in the kiln, so we really didn't know what the kiln was doing. And I sold some pieces. Well, actually, I gave them away. I gave away some pieces, and the bottoms of them got all moldy because the clay wasn't vitrified, so they took on water every single time they washed them. And I also had some pieces that were like in a Bowls for Hunger or something like that, and the clay was not vitrified for those people either, and they came back asking about it. So I was very upset about that. I was very concerned that I might be harming people with glazes that aren't vitrified. I started doing a lot of lemon testing on my glazes after that. And the other lesson was I try to always have cones in my kiln. Sometimes I accidentally leave one out, but I like to have them in there so I can see what's really happening. So I can feel confident that this Rocky Mountain ash clay, they say it vitrifies at cone 5, 6. I feel pretty confident that I have some vitrified clay and it will perform like it should. So this next piece is my big piece. This is why we've been doing all of these half shelves. I can see the top of it, but I really haven't checked it out yet. So this is a big vase, and this is, the glaze is Starry Night. That, oh my goodness, look at that. That Temecula gold glaze from Clayscapes. and then Coastal Blue, another Clayscapes glaze over the top of it. But there is, you can see how well it does on this texture, how much variation. I like that. I like that. Can you see how it slid down out of that circle? Very happy. That'll probably be my cover one on the YouTube video. Using lots and lots of cookies in here. Okay. Last shelf, kind of a quick load because it's stacked up so funny. And here are my jars. Oh gosh. Had a kiln post on that. So a few weeks ago, one of my friends passed away, and that's always a hard time, right? When we lose our friends. So I talked to his kids and asked them if, because he was cremated, if they had an urn and would they allow me to make an urn for him. So the answer to that is yes. And my first go, I feel pretty, number one, all of the lids are ruined. We can make some more of those. And I feel pretty confident these are too small. I believe they need to be 214 cubic inches to be appropriate for an urn. So I have more thrown that I think will be the right size. But this has really helped me get some ideas about shape, and then some glaze ideas as well. So let's see if I made a mess. Ooh, so this, oh my goodness. This is pitch black. It performs a lot like obsidian from Amico, but this is a Clayscapes glaze. Pitch black. Ooh, I've got a little where it didn't get coverage. I can refire that. I wonder if I had some wax or something that got wild and on my piece. And then on the top, it's pearl white from Spectrum. I think that's beautiful. And then I put pitch black on the inside. I like that form. I like that shape. I think it is too small, but it'll make, what a beautiful vase. I would be happy to have this sit on my shelf with some flowers, right? This one, oh, okay. Did not turn out like I thought it would. Okay, pitch black. And this is Bailey's 2. And I'll tell you what, that did not, I got a lot of nice crystals, but do you see how it, so I had mixed this a while ago. I opened up the bucket. If anybody's mixing up Bailey's 2, maybe you can leave some comments and tell me what I got going on. So it was hard panned, and it was thick. So I worked that out. I took a trimming tool and scraped it all up. I mixed it, added some water, sieved it, added some more water, added too much water, and I got it too thin. So I don't remember what the specific gravity was, but I got it too thin. I was under that. So my logic was I would put on a couple of really heavy coats, because I know you have to put it on thick to get any crystallizing. Otherwise, if it's too thin, it just goes brown. So We definitely got some of the crystals out of it, but it just kind of, bleh. Not happy with that one. Gosh, I hope I can remember what all these, oh, okay. So like the big bowls, Mako sandstone, sapphire float, eggshell inside, eggshell on the rim, and then, oh my goodness, I got very excited with the light flux. I do not, so I put like some brush marks of it, and I don't know that I care for that. It kind of, if you're looking for an ocean wave, that might be the way to do it, but I don't know that I like it on. The jury will be out. I'll wait a few days. My mind changes rapidly after a firing. The next two are both John Cash Blue. This clay is Laguna Speckled Buff. I think it's like WC608 or something like that. But John Cash pinholes really bad on my white clay. And I see quite a few pinholes on this piece. So I don't know. That's too bad, because this is actually the glaze I wanted to use, because he was really into blue. And I've got a lot of light flux on it, but inside and out, John Cash Blue on the speckled buff clay. I wonder why it pinholed. I like this form a little better, a little rounder. On the bottom is Ashley's Best. And I don't think I like Ashley's Best on this speckled buff clay, because it looks almost like a satin matte black. But still some pinholes in it, so I'm not sure. Somebody's tinging. That's the first I've heard that. So, okay, well, that's a little disappointing. I'll have to do better. And then I've got two mugs down here. Pitch Black and Pearl White. And that, look how far down that got. The Pitch Black does help stop it, but it's still, you know, wherever you see blue is how far it's run. And I had quite a bit of it under the handle there for some reason. But very pleased with those. And then I put, yeah, it's Pearl White on the inside too. The only thing I've got left in here is the comb pack, bottom shelf. Looks pretty much like the top shelf, just tipping that. I've got a cone stuck in there, so I don't, and that stays pretty true. My middle shelf is always the hottest, and top and bottom are a little bit cooler. That's what I have tonight. Kind of sad about my jars, but I'll keep working on it. We'll kind of go from there. I really want it to turn out to be the very best urn, because I want my friend to have the very best. So, yeah, we're going to quit talking about that, or I'll be bawling in front of everybody. So glad I could be here tonight. I'll let you know how the little gal likes the rabbit dishes, her little crocks, and that's how her mom described them, little crocks, and see if they're a hit at the fair. I'll get started working on my plate order, or dinnerware set, actually, dinner plate, salad plate, and bowl, cereal bowl style, and they would like a set of 10. So they're getting married very rapidly. So I think I'm going to shoot to have a set of 4 done by the wedding, and then I can catch up. They don't live far away, but they have big families, and they're going to need all the dishes they can get. So I hope everybody is well out there. I hope everybody is potting. If anybody can help me out with some of that Bailey's too, if anybody is mixing that, I'd love some input on. Oh, that was the other thing, is not only, so it was all thick, and then when I sieved it, there was material that would not sieve. I mean, I had a big, I saved it because I'm not sure, I felt bad about throwing it out, like I might need it or something, but there was probably 1/3 of a cup of material that just wouldn't break down. I don't know what that is. So if you guys know, leave it in the comments. Like and subscribe. That helps all the metrics they give you. I don't pretend to understand any of it. So, all right. Thank you.